This week on YHS on Monster Island, Jake is en route to Japan, but hey, I got 24 hours before I leave, so guess what? We're gonna talk news. It was a great week, tons of toy releases, and I got some pickups. So Monster Island starts now.
You have your fear, which might become reality, and you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up,
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe here. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hey everybody, Jake here. I am super pumped. Our good buddy, the Tattoo Titan of Tokusatsu, is somewhere over the Pacific right now as I'm recording this. He's going to land with all of his crew in Japan here shortly. I'm about a little less than 24 hours, 36 hours in that time frame before I leave. So I'm going to be there about 2 days after him, and it's going to be super awesome. But it's Wednesday night. It's late Wednesday night, and I keep on seeing and looking at some of the news sites and seeing all these great releases. I'm like, I got to talk to somebody, but who better to talk to than you guys? Yeah, I need, you guys need like a pithy nickname, but I'm really excited. I got some pickups, and yeah, I just want to talk. I just want to talk because there's just too much stuff, and what better way to spend an evening than just talking to yourself at a mic or at a camera about all these great releases. But before we get to that, I have been super excited to finish Ultraman Ace and move on. It's been the rewatch has been a bag of mixed emotions, if you will. Some of the episodes are amazing. Some are so bizarre. I mean, everybody knows the bedwetting episode, the panda stealing episode. There's so many that are just wacky. But one thing that I've really honed in on and I've noticed, I don't think this is new news to anybody that's seen Ultraman Ace. I don't think so, but it really kind of clicked through the rewatches. The quality of episode after Minami moves out of the main scene and it's just Hokuto as the main Ultra, the quality of the episodes goes down. And I don't know if it's necessarily just because it goes from the unique nature of the two people becoming the Ultra, or if it's just kind of, hey, those are kind of the weaker episodes. Oh, there's some good ones in there. Don't get me wrong. But I just have noticed, I've been like, I don't know, like I feel all the really, really strong episodes were the first, I guess, more than half, but about half of the series. However, with that being said, kind of under the what have I watched recently, the Veracron's Revenge, the return of Veracron, the Revenge, whatever, the second time that we see Veracron, or a modified Veracron, Veracron 2, that episode's wonderful. Like, where has this been in the series post the Minami Hokuto split? Like, it might be one of my favorite episodes in the whole series, but I'm a couple more episodes. I'm going to wrap it up tonight and just like maybe on the plane to Japan, start going down to the to Taro and whatnot. So that'll be super fun. But I am telling you, man, that episode, it's so weird. There's almost some Jisoji vibes in there, right? It's Mako Jisoji vibes, like from Ultra 7 and Ultraman, Ultra 7. And like, I don't know who off the top of my head who directed that one, if it was somebody different, but just the vibe, the tone, everything about it was great. There was like really creepy moments, weird moments, like the Brady Bunch fight scene. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, go watch that episode just for that. It's so wacky. Not done anytime else in the series. So it's not like something that they go back to. I had the most amazing time watching that episode. And like I said, it just seemed almost out of place. And it got me so pumped. I'm like, oh man, I got like 3 episodes left, right? So anyway, but other than that, guys, I haven't watched anything. I feel really, really kind of like bad about it. So I'm hoping that on the plane ride over, I'll catch up on some shows that I've been wanting to see or rewatch some old favorites. I don't know. Or maybe I just watch some more Ultraman. I mean, we are going to do a lot of Ultraman-centric stuff in Japan, going to Sukagawa to the Subaraya Museum and whatnot, Ultraman Shopping Street, and doing all the fun stuff around there. So we'll see, but that's really all that I've watched. And I hope that when I arrive in Japan and I see Jake, he'll be like, hey, I finally watched Shin Kamen Rider, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. But other than that, we don't have a lot going on from a YHS on Monster Island front. It's really just about kind of what we always are about. Pickups and toy news. No movie. I'm not going to do a solo review. I don't think I'm quite cut out for that. It's already hard enough solo podcasting. I'm just not cut out for that. It's hard, but I do want to talk about some of these things. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into some pickups because it's a pretty killer week.
They love that sweet sound final. Get it as much as they can. Sometimes it's a glitter Godzilla, and sometimes it's Vector Man. For those best exclusives, it's gonna cost lots of yen. And let's hope that sofubi is off their holiday top 10. Yeah, we got Kaiju pickups. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, Kaiju pickups. Now back to Jake and Jake.
I should have cut myself off in the middle of the sentence like I do Jake all the time. But I digress. We want to talk pickups. And so I had a really good week. And it's a kind of a very hodgepodge with some really actually heavy hitters, surprisingly so. And then one piece that's like super special, beyond special to me. So I'll go through them. But one that I got actually before the last episode. And to be honest with you, it was just sitting over there. I already kind of found a place for it. And I've talked on and on and on about how like I'm in a little bit of a transitional stage in my collection and display. I've moved out a big area, a big section, a big arcade, and I don't have display for that. And then I've got all these great new pickups that are really important to me, and they're just kind of piled up in a section over here. And this one wasn't because it already had a place reserved. So I just kind of overlooked it. But so we talk about Leviathan collectibles a lot. They're like not only good friends, the great Ryan Hartzell, the great Ryan Wilhelm, they run one of the coolest shops around. I mean, literally every time I go in there, I'm like, I'm not cool enough to be in here. But if you like kaiju and vintage sofubi, vintage toys, horror posters, you name it, that's the place in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. But anyway, so when I was there last time, I had to pick up something because I saw something that I was like, oh my gosh. Well, actually, let me rephrase it. I'm going to walk that one back. I didn't see it. It was Ryan Hartzell, the mastermind behind Leviathan, who was like, hey, dude, you might like that. And I was like, sold. But didn't even look at the price. Luckily, they're priced very, very, I want to try this in the nicest way possible. They're not like some of the other toy shops that are still kind of in COVID pricing. Leviathan gives you a fair price. So anyway, I was able to pick up from Spectre Man this amazing little teacup. Look at that thing. Little mug looking thing with the ugly mugs of Dr. Gory and Raw there. And of course, the heroic Spectre Man. This thing is absolutely wonderful. You can, it's functional. It's a cup, but it's very functional. And it also can double possibly as a display. I can put some of my small minis of Spectre Man in here. It'd be great. It'd be like a little display. So anyway, love this. Thank you to Leviathan. Thank you guys for having things like this. I mean, they have a great Spectre Man selection. LPs, books, of course, soft vinyl toys, and then cups. So amazing stuff. Anyway, this guy would fit in there. Not Spectre Man related, but I talked about this one a couple weeks ago when we were going over some of the Wonderfest winter releases, and Sun Guts, I think, just killed it. And one of the reasons that they killed it was that really, really cool kind of Seijin and Suits 5-pack, if you will, all the Ultra aliens and them all, the ones that wore suits in the show because they were, most of them disguising themselves. One of them, though, just stood out. And I don't have anything else of this character. It's in one of my favorite Ultra 7 episodes. And that, of course, all the way from the 4th planet, the robot chief. And just look at this guy. This guy, there we go. There he is. Look at this. I mean, the scene where his face opens up and you see the mechanics. Is that not one of the greatest scenes in Ultra 7? Is that not one of the greatest scenes in the Ultra series? I think it's just for, 1967 and a tokusatsu TV show. I think it's one of those moments that separates Ultra 7 from some of the other show up Ultra series. I just think episodes like that. But look at this guy. Got his mustache. You can see the little mechanics behind his eyeballs. Oh my gosh. Look at that yellow tie. This is awesome. Thank you, Sun Guts. Thank you, Ultra 7. Thank you, Sun Guts. And thank you, Wonderfest. This is so cool. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So happy. Okay. The next one I talked about something really super special. And this is super special. And it's weird because I've already showed this specific toy off before in a previous state. So yes, this was a toy that I bought myself. It was a little resin toy of Skeleturtle. And I sent it because I talked about it. Okay, yeah, it's kind of plain or whatever, but I like it. And then one of our listeners, who's one of the best artists in the kaiju world, Johnny Cock, Canadian, Canada's own, the Canadian, Canada's own Johnny Cock, was like, "Hey, dude, I'll paint it." I'm like, amazing, because I'm looking at 4 of Johnny's prints up there. I love his work. He does great stuff, and that'd be cool to have a toy painted by him. Obviously not his the medium that we most know him of when when we see his big setups at all the great conventions and everything. So anyway, and we went back and forth, and I was like, "Hey, dude, dealer's choice. Like, I don't care. Make it realistic, make it wacky, make it silly. I don't care, man." And he came back with, you can tell that he's watched the show a few times. He knows like some of the stuff I pick up because he knows I love those very kind of 80s vaporwave type colors, like the pinks and teals and blacks and purples and stuff. So he turned that boring, plain little resin statue into this work of art. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Oh, let's see if I can go in there. Look at that. Very cool. I love the light and the dark pinks there. It adds a lot of texture to the resin because, once again, it was just kind of plain, bone colored, if you will. But it's so wacky. Like, it's scary how many shelves this fits in with. Like, literally, when I just set it aside when I got it because I was putting some other boxes up, and I sat it next to the Mondo, the Kong, and Godzilla from New Empire. I forgot what the name of that variant is, but it's like these colors. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like their pet turtle. Like, screw Doug, man. We got Skeleturtle here. That would be a great series, Doug and Skeleturtle. Holy cow. Somebody get on that. But anyway, amazing stuff. Johnny, thank you. Amazing. I really, honestly, I appreciate that. That is one of the coolest pieces now that I have in my collection, and to know that you did it, really, really cool. But that's not all, because, yeah, it's that time.
The top 10 wishlist pickup alert.
Yeah, we're keeping this thing going. This train is staying on the track. Now, this one, it's a little bit of a cheat. Jake and I both have a few picks that are lines or collections, and it's not like we're trying to collect the whole thing. Well, in this case, I kind of am, but I wanted to try to get kind of the main 6 of the fake Spectre-Man line, and I was missing this cat, and he just came out. This is a new release of this sculpt. This isn't one of the earlier releases, and I got it straight from Toy Underground, which is where Awesome Toy, they're based, I believe, in Hong Kong, where Toy Underground is. And so I was able to get this direct for that awesome retail price. And look at this guy. Oh, there he is. He's clear. He has some cellophane strips in there, some pipe cleaners down the legs, because who doesn't want pipe cleaners in your legs? I mean, I don't know if they're supposed to be bones or arteries or just pipe cleaners, but love this guy. And so this is the first 6. Now, there is a fake Spectre-Man 7 and 8. I've only seen one release of them. I don't know if those are achievable. But some of the stuff that I thought was unachievable, we've been able to pop up here early in the year. So, but love this guy, and this kind of, like I said, completes the first 6. But that went fast because these things, of all the stuff on my list, were probably the most like readily available, especially after I found number 1, the first release of number 1 with Bakura. So like that helped out a lot. So anyway, yeah, awesome. Okay, but that's not all, guys, because I was so hoping this would come in before the last show, because this is a big one for me. This is a big one for me as a collector, not just because it's been on my top 10 list every single year. Oh yeah, it's a top 10 list.
The top 10 wish list pickup alert.
Okay, so my favorite toy that I own in my collection, and it's not the most valuable. It's not, I say my favorite. I would say this: if I was, however many times I've been asked that question, it's been the answer the most time. It's not 100% all the time, but it's up there, right? I felt like when I got it, like I was like, okay, like I feel so much better, and that's the feeling that I've chased as we've gone down this sofubi journey, right? Is I want to feel that again, and most of the pieces that do that, I keep, and that was the yellow Marmot Godzilla Tower, and that's my favorite one. And I was able to pick up one of the reds. I'm not going for both, but the blue and green one had always been elusive. And the ones that I've bid on, I got outbid on, and they were in the $1,500 range, $1,600 range. And even if I could pay that, like it was like I want to take that money and get some more stuff and go with more of a volume-based approach, more stuff that's on my top 10 list. For that, I could get, a Butana Hana Griffin, some Metacom Kyodine, and a Marmot Gerha. Like it's, I know that thing pops up every now and then. They're out there. It's just usually, are you quick enough and can you afford it? Well, luckily, the Kevin Rizzo, who runs the store out in California, I believe it's in Whittier, California, Vintage Selection, and he has an amazing Instagram, and he sells a lot of like just vintage, like legit vintage sofubi, amazing stuff, pieces. Hey, that's like where like Chaz shops, right, man? It's cool vintage stuff, Pachi stuff, but also carries a lot of heavy hitters. Pilot Ace, Toy Graph, Marmot, all that good stuff. And he popped this one up there, and I couldn't pull the trigger, guys. I just couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? Going to Japan, not that I was going to assume I was going to find this in Japan. Please don't interpret that that way. It was more like, this money could go elsewhere. And then I was like, a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, it was still there. And I'm like, what is going on? Is it broken, or, what? Somebody put some graffiti on it. What's going on? No, they just like, somehow it slipped through the cracks. It's one of those pieces, right? They just slipped through the cracks. Maybe he just had too much inventory and everybody was just distracted and they didn't see it. And he lowered the price a little bit. Not my asking. It was he put that out there. And I'm like, look, it's now a great price. And you know what? Like, am I going to find something in, let's just say this was the last bit of money that I had. If I was going to find something in Japan that would bring me the joy that this would, and I don't know. It's like, I'm not going to take that risk. And luckily we'll be okay in Japan, but I did go ahead and get number 3, the third brother here on the Marmot Godzilla Tower. And I don't need to say anything. Most people know this toy. They recognize it. They know that I love Godzilla versus Gigan. It's my probably most watched Godzilla movie. The yellow is my favorite toy. I love Marmot. Like I said, this is like, I think, just one of the best toys in the world of Godzilla, official Godzilla sofubi. And I like all 3 colors. And this one was, my second favorite, and I was able to get it, and they look great together. Oh my gosh. Like, that's the thing. It's like, the joy of what I wanted, I thought I would feel like when I was able to put this next to the other 2, it didn't, like, it delivered, right? It didn't disappoint. And I'm so happy that this is in my collection. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Vintage Selection. And like I said, I'm beyond thrilled to put this bad boy away. So if you're counting at home, hopefully you are not, but if you are, that's 8. I got 8, but I got 2 more to finish the top 10 list. I've never got more than 3, or maybe did I get 4 last year? 3 or 4. And I have 8. And it is April 9th, almost April 10th. We can do this, guys. So if anybody, oh no, that's 7. Sorry, 7, maybe 8. But I've shown you 7. And so if anybody can find me an Amakuma Griffin from Latitude Zero, I wish Amakuma was a Japanese company. Maybe I'd have a chance to see it over there. That would be wonderful. That one will be a hard one to find. I literally have never seen it on the auction sites. I've never seen it out there. Just the pictures from Wonderfest summer 24, maybe. Yeah. So I haven't seen that. And the other one, I think I will be able to find. It literally would be the most expensive toy I've ever paid for. And I don't know if it's realistic, to be honest with you. It might be just hey, if I take like 6 months off, maybe I'll use all those funds and get it. And that is the 95, the green Neo Player one. I love all the other ones, but they are so expensive. I'm hoping that at some point the prices drop a little. I don't expect them to. So I'm not going to be bummed if they, well, I'll be bummed, but I'm not going to be shocked if they don't. These things are appreciating in value. They're amazing pieces of art. It sucks for all of us that they're that expensive. It's great for the artists and the resellers or whatever. But I do think at least Neo Player One, they recognize that. And if you've noticed the prices for their releases, not the resale, the actual at the galleries, like the Mecha Godzilla. I mean, it's what was it, like $1,000 or something. So, long gone are the days where you're going to be able to get one of these for $200. I think that would be a great place to get to. I would love that, because if they're delivering that quality and getting it to more people, what's not to love? But it's their business, and they know what's realistic and what they kind of their goals are and what their objectives are. And if they want to stay super exclusive and keep raising the prices, that's their prerogative. And those that can get it, fortunately, will get it, and those that can't, unfortunately, won't. And it sucks because I'm not going to be one that goes in there and buys like 6 Neo Player Ones. It'd be awesome, but alas, it's just not to be. But I think that one will be achievable, and then we'll see what happens on the Sicaluna Magic Serpent set. We'll see. I have some leads, but that one I think is doable, possibly. So 7, maybe 8. I feel good. Guys. So the one other thing that actually, this is terrible. What I'm going to say is terrible. So please don't judge. There's something about being like setting out your top 10, and it's not a contest, but it's literally just us kind of focusing what are the most important pieces to us. Because I think we can get, and I say we collectors can sometimes chase the bright shiny object, chase the squirrel, and this allows us to focus. And there's something about being able to achieve a few of those. I'm kind of going to Japan with nothing on the to get list. Like when I go there, there's going to be unlimited things that I want, that are cool, that are awesome. But I feel like if I would have let's say I had 0 off of my top 10 list, I think I would go there and it would possibly negatively affect my toy searching and toy hunting and toy enjoying and toy looking at, because I would be like, okay, is that do they have the Marmot Gaha? Oh, they don't. Oh, then I'm sad. Do they have the Butana Hana Griffin? Oh man, and I'd be searching for certain things, and I don't want to do that. I just want to be engulfed and just in the world of these shops and the amazing visuals and smells and feels and everything that go into them. So I hate saying that I wouldn't enjoy this amazing trip if I haven't bought 7 really cool pieces of toys. That's not true, but it is a side benefit. It's something that I'm like, okay, well, I feel really good. I feel almost refreshed going in there. Hey, it will be a wherever the wind blows, wherever it takes me, and those shops, great. I might come back and have a whole new collection of Ultraman Ace characters, but not Cowra got him. I might go in there and come back like, hey guys, I decided I'm going to start collecting Kamen Rider. I don't know. And that's really cool. Or I could come back and say, hey, you know what? I didn't see anything I liked. That's not going to happen. But, it is one thing that you just never know. And so, like I said, I hate it. Sounds bratty and it sounds terrible, because it's not prerequisite to enjoy my trip by any means, but it is different than like when I booked the trip. I'm like, cool, man, I'm going to be able to go and search in these stores, and I'm going to be able to find hopefully, this item off my top 10 list or my want list or whatever at maybe a better price. And even if not, just a cool, life experience and having it over there as a memento of that moment. That's off the table. So now it's like, hey, we'll see what goes on, man. And so I don't know. I'll tell you in 2 weeks. Well, if you follow us on social, I'll probably tell you before then how much, first store, I'm out, done, spent all my money. Possibility. I don't know what the gambling odds on that are, but possibility. I got to pace myself. So anyway, so those are my pickups. I just so excited to have that Marmot Tower. I'm so excited to have the Skeleturtle painted by Johnny. I'm so excited to have that last fake Spectre Man, of the kind of the main 6. So excited to have a Robot Chief toy. And as always, I'm super excited to get stuff from Leviathan. So all of these pickups really mean something. They're great. They're wonderful. And hey, that's what collecting's about. Speaking of collecting, speaking of toys, speaking of really cool stuff, guys, we got some news.
It's the Monster Island news for you. It's everything about kaiju. From that Monster Island crew, there are others that do it and they're okay to choose. But there's only one super trusted, amazingly handsome Monster Island crew. Can you believe they're doing that to the Monsterverse? You missed another on Raccoon Lottery, that's the worst. You didn't hear about all those exclusives, no, you're not cursed. You just need another source for news and you'll find out first. Oh yeah, the Monster Island moves for you. It's everything about kaiju from that Monster Island crew.
Alrighty, guys. So this is going to be all toy news. I know that there were some updates about filming for GXK2, not as new Empire, but hey, there it is. Okay, we got it. And of course, there's always con news. So really excited about G-Fest. Kudos to the team at Kaiju Brooklyn. They're doing great stuff. I know Godzilla Fest, which we didn't mention last time, just because we forgot. Sorry, that's on me. Out in San Francisco, which they're announcing guests. Tomoko Ai is going to be there. She was awesome at G-Fest a couple years back. And I forgot who else is going out there. I think Hurricane Ryu and some other folks. But, that's going to be amazing. Kaiju Brooklyn's doing awesome stuff. They're so good. They got a lot of cool stuff. And then, of course, us at Kaiju Go, we're getting excited, man. We have the Tom Whalen announcement. We have all those great artists that we mentioned, the Matt Franks of the world, the Mark Nagatas, the Maggitariuses, and the Jenny Cherries, and, Wonder Goblin. I mean, oh my gosh, like it's turning into a really important place for toy artists and other artists. We got another one coming up soon. I'm so excited. We're going to announce it probably when I get back, but it's locked and loaded. Like we don't announce them until like the things are paid and the folks, the contracts are signed, whatever. And we got another big artist that's coming that I'm really pumped about, and I think the crew will be too. He's just gave too much away, but they are very, very awesome. So really cool really excited about that. It's gonna be super cool, and yeah, we're just getting ready. Chaz and I were able to go up to the venue. We had to check on some stuff, and just like, I don't know, man. Also, did you guys see? I posted this. So if you follow Toku Toy Town or Kaiju Go, actually, the Oak Cliff Cultural Center is the building next to the theater that we do Kaiju Go at, and we're going to use that space for more vendors. It's great. It's a huge kind of beacon of that Oak Cliff community in Dallas, a very diverse, rich in history area of Dallas. Very cool. And they do amazing stuff. They allow free programs in art and music and just basic stuff to the community there that may not have the ability to keep kids off the streets and get them in there learning about art and their culture and all that great stuff. So we've partnered with them. It's become an amazing partnership. Like, we are doing everything we can to support them beyond Kaiju Go. They're great people. And they work a lot with the Texas Theater as well. They're good folks. And so we actually had maybe a guy you've heard of before, the tattoo tied of Tokusatsu, Jacob Walsh. He did some amazing art around, like, basically take vintage toys if they came alive, right? You've seen some of the art on Toku Toy Town. A lot of my booth murals, and the website and stuff uses these images, and there's some more that will be introduced at G-Fest this year. And so we made this awesome, like specifically for like Kaiju Go and Toku Toy Town and Jacob Walsh supporting the Oak Cliff Cultural Center. And we made these coloring books of, bound and nice coloring books. And we sent it to the Oak Cliff Cultural Center, and they have a lot there. We're going to bring some more with some cool toy stuff that we'll leave there for the kids, because, hey, these kids want to play. They're going there. There's going to be cool toys and stuff to play with. Why can't there be some Godzilla and Ultraman toys? Like, come on, right? So it's really great. But I mentioned that kind of in the con news, but it's more just like I want to brag on Jake because he'll never do it. He'll never do it because people forget how much of an amazing artist he is. They say, okay, well, tattoo artist, yeah, and obviously, like, he does all this amazing stuff with White Chess and with Toy Anxiety and the Jeffries and all this stuff. But people forget, like, his art is like amazing, like A+. Like, it's so cool. Like, when we post that stuff, like, you get other amazing artists that go like, holy cow, this is awesome. And I mean, he probably did that in like 2 seconds. The guy's a freak. And I really hope that more of his kaiju art gets out there. I mean, he's so busy. It's hard, when's he going to find time to do that? But, I'm not just saying this as one of his friends. Like, his art is superb, and I can't wait to see it in other forms. But I was so thrilled that, like, that partnership we were able to get with Oak Cliff, that we were able to do the coloring book, the kind of the art of Jacob Walsh kaiju toys. It's amazing. So some of them are just so great. Once again, we haven't released that one. The Dr. Gory he did, one of my favorites. And the Toy Graph Mecha Godzilla, the 50%, like, yes, it's amazing. I want to kind of get that framed next to the actual header art done by Mark Nagata. It's like 2 of my favorite artists. Bam, right there. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk toys. So I'm going to share the screen. Bear with me. I always have that fun thing where I actually can't see you. I mean, I can't see you anyway, but you know what I mean? I can't see the screen because it's on 2 screens, and the presenter view thing is not working, and it's all sorts of crap. But I'm going to play this, and hopefully you can see me. If not, and the screen. More importantly, the screen. So let's talk some news. Let's talk some toy releases. Hey, I'm gonna say it right here. Bullmark won the sofubi news cycle. I don't know if that's a thing. They won the sofubi cycle. This news cycle, I saw these guys. I was like, oh, how can I change my trip now to go to Fukuoka to the My First Ultraman exhibition? I saw their ads and their posts on Instagram from Subarai, and I'm like, please be in Tokyo or Osaka when we're there, and it's not. And it's in Fukuoka when we're in Tokyo, and it's in Osaka like a week or 2 after we leave. But part of this exhibition, they have 4 like classic Bullmark sculpts of 4 awesome Ultraman characters, like some of the best. They have this amazing Ultraman. They have the old school style Gyango. We all know I love Gyango. It's amazing. That little rascal, the space rascal. Jamila, one of the best episodes, one of the best creatures, kaiju. Just, your heart goes out for him, and an amazing sculpt that's going to be released. And then the crazy Geronimon, which doesn't really look like him, but kind of does, the classic one. These are all going to be there using that classic style. And these are, standard sofubi. These are 8.5, 9 inches tall for a ridiculous price. So cheap. Bullmark, whoever's running that Bullmark, this modern iteration, they're doing great stuff. And I know they've done a lot of stuff with Graveyard Gallery and whatnot, but this exhibition, these 4, I almost just said, you know what? We'll just sit and talk about this all day, because every one of these is stunning. Oh my gosh. Like, how amazing would those 4 just look on the shelf? I mean, like, it captures so many of the great episodes and memorable moments of Ultraman in 4 just cool, bright, bold sculpts. And I like that they played Ultraman straight. And they went kind of fun and wacky in different colors with the other ones. I think it just would look great on a shelf. These are bright. These pop. I love the white background on the images. But yes, like, thank you. And of course, thank you to Sovi.Tokyo, one of our favorite websites. That and Kaiju Battle, Kaiju United, we pull stuff from as well, because as much as we just try to find it organically, I always check those sites. So always check those 3 sites. They're amazing. Great stuff. The people that run them, they do They do just amazing work. So support them, and we'll make sure that we always call out where we pull this information from, or individual Instagram pages for a lot of the toy collectors, or excuse me, toy makers. Oh, actually, real quick before we move on, I don't have a slide on this, but did you guys see the note from Saru Jirushi that they're going to be doing some more overseas distribution, like direct? My hope is, or my gut is, that's probably going to be through the Godzilla store. I know they did already one through the Godzilla store, right? The oh man, was it the 64 they did? That was like the purple. Oh, I can't remember now. Anyway, that would be awesome. I hope it's more than just Godzilla store. I don't know. We'll see the prices. We know things are kind of crazy right now. I'm not going to get into that, but because I don't think we know what's going to. Well, I think we know kind of what's going to happen, but to what impact? So yeah, so yay, Saru Jirushi. Let's keep an eye on that, because we all will be building up a really nice Saru Jirushi collection. But anyway, love this stuff. Good job, Bullmark. Good job, the mysterious folks that run Bullmark, and you're doing awesome, awesome stuff. But that's not all. We also have, it's been a great week or 2 weeks for returns. And what the hell do I mean by that? So the famous, the infamous, the beloved SwimmyDesignLab. Well, everything they do is funny and awesome and amazing. But their Matango with that mushroom hand, the famous mushroom hand, they haven't had a new Matango in 2 years. That's shocking to me. I just feel like I see them all the time, but I guess it hasn't been a new one. This is the 6th version, glow in the dark. It's as always a lottery exclusive. So go to their Instagram. This, just like all of them, it's amazing. I don't have to say anything, because if you look at this and you don't smile or are curious, be like, what is that? It's oddly appealing. I love it. Or you just love Matango. If none of those fit, then you're just crazy, man. This is awesome. It's, what does Jacob Walsh say when people say, "Oh, art is subjective"? Like, no, it's not. Good art is good art, and we won't go down that discussion path, but I do think that this thing is just wacky and amazing and cool. So really cool to see that return to the SwimmyDesignLab lottery. So great stuff. The other thing, also equally really cool, Dream Rocket. I'm still giddy over their Ultraman and Garamon releases. They're so good. They also released this big 11-inch Duraco, and we saw it a lot at some of the festivals, but it hasn't been like widely available, and it always sold out. So they're re-releasing it, and they're re-releasing it on their website. So I don't know on the Dream Rocket side if they have a built-in proxy service, or if you have to go through one of the other, the classic folks. But for $223, you can own this 11-inch Duraco. It's chunky, it's big, it has that Dream Rocket vibe to it, which almost, I was thinking about this the other day. I wouldn't say I was talking to somebody to make me sound like I did, but I probably was just thinking about it to myself. So something about Dream Rocket that is in the DNA there, it's somewhere is at Marmot Vinyl Paradise. It's not quite as stylized in the chunky factor, but it feels like they took the characters and then they just stretched them a little bit to the side and maybe shrunk them down a little bit. They have that wider, boxier look and feel, not quite to Vinyl Paradise. I think they're more true to the actual shape of the character, but I feel like the spirit lives in there somewhere. The DNA is there. So it was a great conversation I had with myself. That's where we landed, by the way. So hey, he returns to Draco returns to to be able to be purchased by us for the first time. That this is a re-release. He's returning to the roster of available Ultra Kaiju from our good buddies over at Dream Rocket. And then also, I would say these guys pushed Bullmark for like winning the news cycle. Enka Vinyl, man, they are killing it right now. The Godzilla Parade series, the Space Godzilla, the Godzilla, ridiculous. I mean, so good. But let's not sleep on the Everyone's Cute Monster series. These little guys, they're 5-6 inches tall, kind of that medium size, $50 a pop. You can get them through inkavinyl.com. These are going down on the 28th of April, so hurry. The Draculas, the Bimstar, and the King Bakal are, hey, they're returns, because they're all from Return of Ultraman, and they're amazing. That Bimstar, like, I feel like he could be in like Happy Feet or one of the Penguin movies. I mean, he looks great. Look at that guy. Such a crazy kaiju, awesome kaiju, and then they just made him kind of his own thing. The Draculas is great. I mean, they're all great. But Enka Vinyl, I would say maybe second place this week. There's a couple more, so we'll have to make that decision at the end. But I think that they did a wonderful job, and proving it was a great week for returns. Hey, this is one I can tie to the trip to Japan, because when we land at 2:00 local time, 2:30 local time, at Haneda. And can we make it to Asakusa, to the Smile Bar, to the Marusan pop-up, to see if I can put some money down on a pop-up on Lucky Bag? Don't care if it's the guy 95 or the Grand King from Ultraman Story. Don't care. All of them are awesome. 350 series. I just want to go and, as much as we've talked about Marusan Kaiju Salon pop-up shops, let's see, pop-up Kaiju Salon shop, I don't know, whatever it is, we want to go to it. And the fact that there's one there, so we are going to not even go to the hotel. We're going to try to just get through customs as fast as we can. Might even have to just pay for an Uber there instead of take the train, just because, we don't want to, it probably is going to be faster on the train. But anyway, just to get there so we can go in, throw some money down. I think they close at 6, and be like, Kamanagi-san, please give me a Lucky Bag. Because I think the world will be better for that. Jay's world will be better for that. So really cool stuff. So there's Marusan on the pop-up. And then, hey, this thing is huge. Burning Godzilla from 2019, from that awesome scene, X Plus, they're bringing back that sculpt, but in this awakened clear version. So this bad boy is basically a clear vinyl. How impressive is this going to look in person? For, Monsterverse fan or not, this thing, and if you love X Plus and you love realistic sculpts of Godzilla, or you love gigantic series, anything, this thing is gigantic. We're talking 40 inches long, 20 inches tall. It's not cheap. It's going to cost you close to $700 before shipping. And right now it's only shown in Rick in the Godzilla store Japan, but maybe this will be something they bring to the US, to the X Plus North America, or the US Godzilla store. Going to come out at the end of the year. But if you're into this stuff, this is a really impressive piece. I was like, oh wow. Like I even, especially knowing that it's clear, like I said, I think this is one that'll look better in person than even on the slide. Some rapid fire stuff. I put this X Plus North America Godzilla statue in here because we talked about this from Hardshell Studios. They did the black and white version. This is the lobby card version, and it's being released by X Plus North America. So this is another one of those specific to X Plus NA. You can get it right now, pre-order, coming out in a couple months. Thing's only $260. It's going to be 14 inches tall, 13 inches tall, something like that. On the stand, it'll be about 14 inches tall. But it's the kind of colorized lobby card version of that exact same sculpt. That was a resin statue. So just because we talked about that one, I felt like obligated to talk about this one. And we've also talked about the Bandai Frog Tree Shin Godzilla, that amazing sculpt from the Godzilla vinyl art. And they are releasing the standard and burning colorways now. These things are they're coming out in June. They're on the premium Bandai site. They're big. The sculpts, I've seen them in person, are splendid. There's so much just there's nothing wrong with a good static sculpt, especially Shin. There's some great poses, but there's just so much, like, you can almost feel it moving. And there's just so much like spirit and energy in this sculpt. You can tell that they really enjoyed doing it, and it feels like it's going to move. It's that good. I love the pose. It's dynamic as all get out. And if you get one of these, I mean, it's not cheap. It's $250, but like, it's a big piece, and I think it's going to go skyrocket on the secondary market. I really do. I think this is a great piece. So if you can get it, grab it. And then, we don't talk CCP a lot. We did the other day with the Shin Godzilla and Gamera releases. But to me, I don't know about you guys. Now, because CCP is so many of their medium-sized stuff gets out on the a lot of our local domestic sites, whether it's Big Bad Toy Store or Bubble Wrap or Strange Cat or any of those, like, it gets out there. But to me, there always will be the Hedera people, and the the AMC collection, the Artistic Monsters collection, and they're releasing always in the 3 variants: the adult and the landing version, and the chimney version, the smokestack version, whatever you want to call it. And this is a new colorway, and I just haven't seen one in a while. Remember when they were like doing all the wacky ones? It was like poison dart frog and all these other wacky colorways. I like this, and for CCP, maybe I would call it simple. This kind of Eastery pastel color version. Like, these are great. These are really cool. These look good on shelves too. I'm not an active CCP collector. I've had the adult header. I had the one like the Galaxy versions, and it was a really cool piece. It just didn't go with anything in my collection. Like, it just looked weird. I always like looking at him like, oh, like you're like sad. You don't have any buddies here. So it went to a new home. These are great pieces. So if you love CCP, you love Hedera, and like I said, the pastel, like, not as much pastel stuff out there in our world of collecting. So really cool stuff. Good job, CCP. And then this one is great because I love Ultra 7. I'm so excited to get a lot of Ultra 7 pictures and Ultra 7 Kaiju pictures in Tsukagawa. So Star Ace, they're coming out with a 1/6 scale Ultra 7. And this bad boy, I mean, it has like 9 interchangeable hands. It has like the Eye Slugger, the Specium Ray, all that good stuff, like the cape, everything, all these really cool accessories. And you can create all those favorite, Ultra 7 dynamic poses with this bad boy. So this is really cool. I don't have anything in this vein. I mean, the closest would probably, going down a little bit smaller in scale, would be like the Yongari and Gorgo and stuff from, and Pulgasari from Titanic. But this is just really, really cool. And I just love everything with Ultra 7. And X Plus was like, hey, man, we love you, Star Ace. You are us. So we're going to release some cool stuff this week too. And we got the favorite sculptors line. This is based off an old model kit. They brought this Ella King back. I love this pose. Look how long that tail is. That's ridiculous, man. But this is one that, you'll be able to get through the proxies or whatnot. But X Plus Japan and Tsuburaya Store Japan right now are the two that have it. And from their Real Masters collection. So these are the resin statues. I've only ever had one RMC, and it was a really beautiful Godzilla 62, and I liked it. But once again, at the time, I was getting all this sofubi, and I had this resin statue, and it even stood out amongst the vinyl X Plus. So I sold that to the great David Dobko from Collect All Monsters. That was a long time ago, like 4 years ago. Holy buckets. But anyway, they're awesome. And this King Joe, this renewal version, looks great. It's everything that they do that's in resin, as long as it ships to you correctly, because, resin breaks so easily. These things are always standout pieces. So really, really, really cool stuff there. And that's the end of the news. So I absolutely am glad I was able to share that. And at the end of the day, I think Bullmark won. That's so that oh my gosh, guys. Now I'm getting kind of depressed. I'm not going to be at Fukuoka for that exhibit. Oh my gosh. Those 4 pieces, they're amazing. Oh. Anyway. Some really cool stuff. And as you know, I say this disclaimer every time. We can't get to everything. We don't talk about everything. Some of it's out of our wheelhouse. Some of it we just don't care about. Hey, it's our show. And then otherwise, we also don't want to be here for 20 hours a week because we could. That's why you have those awesome sites like Kaiju Battle. That's why you have those awesome sites like Sobi.Tokyo, because they will get you the full rundown. Between those two, and assuming you're following the same people that we follow on Instagram, the Max Toy Japans and the Max Toys and the Sara Jarushis and all that good stuff, the stuff that doesn't make it onto those sites, you can easily check it out there. So I don't know, guys, I'm so pumped. Leaving in a little bit. I haven't packed yet. I am 36 hours, let's call it, from leaving, and no, we haven't packed yet. Don't even I can find my suitcase. No, I'm joking. I have that. But we're real excited. I'm gonna try to capture a lot of content. And if I don't, I'm sorry. I might just be too happy and excited. But can't wait to talk to you guys. I've been sitting on this in my head. I want to talk about Super Legend God Hikoza. I watched that for a second time a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll find some time to talk about it. And then I just, life and all that good stuff, all the excuses that we always have. But yeah, I got to talk about that. We're going to talk about some Ultraman Ace and whatever we watch on the trip and all the other fun stuff. So stay in touch with us. Like us, subscribe. Like us, please. Like us. No, like, subscribe. Do everything that you do with things on YouTube and your podcast platform of choice. And yeah, man, just be good to everybody. Go buy some toys, and I will catch you later in a couple of weeks from Monster Island.